All right, 2 hours later, done with my workout. Usually definitely took it slow, as far as kind of taking my time, working up, not overexerting myself on lighter weights, so that way I had more in the tank for when I got to the heavier sets. I think it worked out pretty well. I did squats first. I kind of went out of the order that I wanted to because I didn't know somebody was using the bar on the deadlift on the platform. So I just decided to do squats. You don't want to take anybody's weights or take their spot, not knowing if somebody was using it. So I did squats first. I worked my way up from once I started loading onto the bar, 135, 185, 225, 250, 275, and then I maxed. My very last set was 300 for one, because I started doing singles at about 250, and it was alright. It wasn't the cleanest squat. As I started to come up, I kind of rolled onto my toes, and the bar rolled up on my shoulders, and that kind of threw me out of position. So I had to kind of try to catch it before, I rolled forward and try to force myself back so that I was able to get it up without dropping it or anything like that. So 300, that's the heaviest squat I've done in a long time. My absolute max that I've ever gotten on squats is 315. So being 15 pounds off of my previous best is pretty good. I think, for not having pushed myself and gone up to a heavy squat like that in a really long time. So I hit that. The last 2 times I've deadlifted, I've gotten 300. Today's pull on 300 wasn't quite as clean as the last time, I feel. But I was kind of trying a little bit different setup and trying to go through a couple different cues before, I pulled and everything. So, I guess it worked out. I was able to still get the lift. But there's some tweaking that I can do to work on, that I know I need to kind of work on with lower weights to put myself in a better position. And then on bench press, felt really good going up. I did a light set at 95 pounds. I did a set at 135, 145, 155, 165, 170, 175, 185, and then I maxed at 195. I started using my slingshot at 180, or actually 170. I started using the slingshot, and by that time I was just doing singles and just focusing on coming down, touching my chest, and then going back up. And I narrowed my hands a little bit with the slingshot this time. The last time I did it, I had my hands a little wider, and I just wasn't as comfortable with it, I guess, So I did a little bit narrower on my hands, not very much, just like one finger. I just came in one finger from where I normally set up, and it felt a lot better, being a little bit narrower, coming down, touching my chest, and then kind of going back up. I didn't feel like I had to use too much hip drive, or get my legs into it. But felt pretty good. The 195 rep, there was one little point where for about a half second I kind of almost got stuck, but was able to push a little bit on it, and I got it. I just use the slingshot and a belt. Usually as I go heavier on bench, I'll throw on wrist wraps too. But because I was using the slingshot and, you know, everything else felt pretty good on all the ones beforehand, I decided not to use wrist wraps. You know, my best bench press was 235 about a year ago. And having the 2 shoulder injuries like I've talked about, you know, I'm working back up to that, honestly. So you know, it's going to be kind of a long road to get back up to the 295 or 235, I think. But, you know, I think I can do it, you know, if I just kind of work on it. I got to tweak my program a little bit, and that's kind of what today allowed me to see, that I need to tweak a couple things so that I can kind of work a little bit smarter as far as, you know, working back up to those maxes and beating them, you know, because I'm 31.5 pounds off my deadlift max, and that wasn't too long ago. It was a couple months ago. So being off of my maxes a little bit is, I don't know if I want to say it's frustrating, but, you know, it's just something that you got to work at all the time. You know, usually I'll max, and then you know, I'll take some time off from really going too heavy and everything. But like I said, this kind of allowed me to see where I need to tweak my program and what I need to do as far as programming to continue to gain more strength in my big lifts. So, you know, now I'll kind of work at a percentage of these numbers. I don't want to work at a percentage of my previous maxes, just because I don't want the percentages to be too heavy for me right now, and not be able to, you know, have clean lifts. So I think once I'm able to hit these numbers with cleaner form like I would like, then maybe I'll work back on my previous max numbers and use those as the percentages. But I want to kind of dial everything in first before I start doing that, and it's just gonna take some work. So but, you know, we'll get there. Back home now, I'm gonna kind of start doing some meal prep and get some other stuff done. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. So peace out, guys.